Alright, let's get this show rolling. Good evening, everyone. Going to be trolling around Kuori Lake tonight. And hey, going to be trolling again tonight and discussing the plans for the next Norwegian Sea trip in the near future. Let's see what we've got at the cafe. A couple perch orders, grayling and Vindis. Nothing too terribly exciting. Where are you fishing today, 8? Out at the old sea. Is it picking up? I know after the update, there was initially fairly slow for some people. I haven't kept up to see how it's doing the last couple days. Make sure I've got enough boat tickets here. Yep, good on that. And I'll go ahead and get my boat out on the water. Did some trolling out here earlier today just to get some extra silver. It was really profitable. Only about an hour and a half and made over 350 silver. Very nice. Very nice silver there. Getting good XP out there as well. Not too bad. It's good. Yeah, it seemed to me like they may have nerfed the XP out there a little bit from the initial relief, because I know when it first came out, I was watching the XP people were bringing in, and it seemed absolutely crazy. And I was out there. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't incredible. Ooh, got a hit right away. Not bad. 1.7 kilo lake trout to start the night here. I think I hit the shoreline. Yep. Back up a little bit and get back on course here. And I hit level 21 earlier. I went ahead and grabbed my third point in fishing with spinner baits just to improve the odds of getting some larger fish while we're trolling. And I did manage to land a couple decent ones earlier. I got an 8 kilo Kuori char, which was nice. Gave me quite a bit of money. What was that sound? Recast this one. Something seems off on it. Oh, my clips didn't get set. I exited. Okay. But I'm hoping that a little more trolling out here and another trip to the sea will get me enough to at least get a Titan and another feeder rod, if not an HSV, which would be nice for both trolling and carp fishing. So are you up high enough in marine fishing where you've got boat rods and all that unlocked as well, 8? Nope, not yet. I think I got, what did I get up to? I got up to 25.4 on my first trip. Not too bad for one trip out there. And I'm looking for, so the level 22 I unlock Seversky. Is there a boat on this lake, or is it just a shoreline fishing river? Hey gamer. Welcome, welcome. How's your fishing today? Float fishing river, and there is a boat? Okay. I'm looking forward to checking that out in the near future. Yeah, I was mentioning oh, you got a new Archie spot. Finally back to your old stomping ground there. Yeah, I've been having some pretty good luck out here. I was trolling earlier, made another 350 or so silver, so I'm getting pretty good returns out here. And with any luck, plus a few more trolling sessions and the Norwegian Sea trip will allow me to get my next rod and reel upgrade. Finally retire the Adriatica to just a like a bream fishing setup or something. I think it's earned it. Yeah, HSV is the main goal, but if I have to, I'll settle for another Titan and rod setup. And right now I'm at I think 900 or so silver. Let me pull it up here and try to set this down. 844 silver. So I imagine after this session I'll probably be pretty close to 1,000 silver. Yeah, I'll take a look at the Alpha one as well. And the main reason is just because as good as the HSV is, I'd have to get a rod on top of that as well. And I figure if I go with a slightly lower tier reel, then it lets me get the rod as well and immediately start putting it to use. But I'll see how much I end with the from the Norwegian Sea trip. Let that determine it. I'll go ahead and reel these in and switch to the daytime lures. Had some pretty good luck with quarry char here over. Alright, see you soon. So 8, have you tried any fishing from the shore out there at the sea? There's a couple spots that seem like they're somewhat decent for that. Alright, got something on line 2 here. A little bit of a slow bite rate right now, but it should pick up a little bit later into the morning. Yeah, once you get that ticket going, might as well stick to it. Yeah, I've seen a couple videos of people fishing from the shoreline. It seems fairly reliable. It's something I considered as an option for the next rental trip out there, just because it removes the time you have to spend boating out to a spot. But I don't think the bite rate's quite high enough to justify it for a rental, unfortunately. But I do plan on making more use of the sonar when I go out there on the next trip. Hey Hiko, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Getting any good fishing in right now? Pretty good. I had some really good luck out here on Kuori when I was trolling earlier. It's a little bit slower right now. Oof, get something too big on your line. It's rough. Luckily I haven't run into that in a while. Usually if I'm forced quitting, it's because I've caught a dang snag. Alright, getting very close to 35% on spin fishing. I'm looking forward to going after some catfish out there soon, though. That's a hefty reel there for a catfish to be putting up so much of a fight on. Must have been a nice sized one. Another gain in the skill there. Yep, just out here doing a little bit of trolling tonight and thinking about what I'm going to do for my next Norwegian Sea trip so I can afford some new reel upgrades. Finally retire the old Adriatica. I want to experiment more at some point with the different reel greases you can get. Because like the Adriatica, for example, gets hot really easily, and it's just got the like cheapest grease you can get on there. But none of my other stuff, even like the Lacerti, when I get something way too big for it, doesn't really end up heating up. So I want to try and see if there's some sort of methodical approach to take with upgrading grease on the different reels. Usually I find out here the bite rate picks up around 7 a.m. So here in a few minutes we should start seeing it. Unfortunately, the descriptions just have a star rating. They don't have the overall description says that like they have the different viscosity for heavier fights versus quicker lines or stuff matters, but the descriptions just don't give you anything. All you can go off of is the basically the brand name of the grease. So I guess you can kind of try and line it up with like, oh, if this brand's the maker of, say, the Titan here is Sputnik, you can assume that their grease is made for that type of reel. But other than that, there's no real information given. At least if you're doing like a friction brake upgrade, it'll tell you what your new max drag is going to be. Although I do wish you could see those potential friction brake upgrades on a reel before purchasing it, but I guess you could purchase it, go straight to the workshop, and then return it. It would just be nice to be able to see it up front somehow. Even though I know friction brake upgrading isn't the most popular thing, I think sometimes it could be a viable option for lower level players to get a little more oomph. Like with the Adriatica, spending 79 silver allows you to get up to 9 kilos of drag, which is pretty good for a low-level player. That all in, even with that upgrade, costs them like 350 silver. So that's a pretty solid reel for low level for a cheap cost. Seems like the Aquila is getting a little more bite rate than this Spiker is today. There we go. Now the bite rate's really picking up. Where am I at here? I'm way off course. It's alright. I've actually been having a lot more luck over on the western half of the lake getting char, and over in this area I've been getting a lot of the 7 trout, so I'm going to try to make sure to hit those on my routes today. I've also been debating increasing the hook size on this lure to maybe a size 2, since it seems to draw in some of the higher potential fish species. It might be worth getting that to try to get some of the larger ones, depending on the cost. The catfish are friends with you tonight. If it's any consolation, I'm sure if I went out there and threw anything out on my Adriatica reel, a catfish would undoubtedly hit it right away. I feel like just for the fun of it all, I think when I do replace the Adriatica reel for good, I think I'm going to take it out to the Norwegian Sea and let it spend its dying day catching saith. It can go out in a blaze of glory. Oh, here we go. Got something with a little bit of fight to it. Looks like a big lake trout. Ah, 7 trout. Very nice. Love that XP. That quarry char I caught earlier was like 20-something thousand XP. Well, we'll give a nice 10-round salute to the Adriatica when it finally burns up at sea. Yeah, I got one 8-kilo quarry char, and I caught another one I think was only about 2 kilo, which wasn't much of a fight, but the 8 was that was fun. Allegedly we've hit rock, but I don't believe it. Alright, so I'm going to loop back around and go back on my standard course here. Have a little spot of tea. Might be a little bit too cold for the fish right now. Only 5.8 degrees. Missed whatever was on that one. Yep, there it goes. Get fish on there. Get some of these smaller fish on here. They don't even bend the pole at all. I think as far as cafe orders, there's a perch one we'll probably be able to fill, but the rest of them are pretty much trophy fish. So not looking like I'll be able to fill those orders, but that's all right. Fish on. Another perch. So any particular fish species you guys are hitting right now and targeting? Obviously, as much as he doesn't want to, Hiko's just getting catfish, it sounds like. But should see the bite rate start picking up right about now. Some salmon, aspen, lagoga. Or maybe the trick there is you need to start targeting the catfish, and then maybe they'll leave you alone and let the rest of the fish go after your line. Little lake trout there. So the only catfish species they have in this is basically the generic Wells catfish, right? They don't have any like flathead or channel cats or anything. One kilo lake trout. There's not much hitting the spiker at all right now. Might have to switch that to a different lure if I don't get something by the time I get up to the top of the cove here. See if they're active on something else right now. Yeah, I think from what I remember, someone mentioned at one point, it sounded like it's just the Wells catfish. There's none of the no flatheads or anything like that. Which I guess makes sense for that region of the world. There's probably only Wells. Here's a nice sized grayling. Almost 1.2 kilo. Really hoping to manage to hit the 35% spin fishing skill tonight, and I can start looking into wobblers. And I believe I probably don't have good enough equipment for it yet, but wobblers are what is best for Volkov, someone was mentioning, so that'll open that up as an option to go fish in the near future. See if I can go through the weeds over here and catch a pike or two. There's a skill gain. Yeah, it's been a contested subject there, Hugo. I know some people have mentioned now that they've expanded outside of strictly Russia with the Norwegian Sea. They want to see some more regions. Bass fishing, that some people have brought up, as obviously that's a favorite of most American players to go after, but those are not really in Europe that I know of. And I think a lot of people, for the aesthetic, want to keep the game based more in Europe and that region, as close to Russia as they can. So I can see that argument. I can understand it. But there's certainly some more regions that they can open up and expand to that would bring some fresh new species and fight types. Alright, so these weeds, sometimes I'll get lucky and pick up a pike in here. Usually just perch, though. Like that. Speak of the perch devil. I imagine they'll probably do another saltwater map, though, because they made all that coding to add the marine fishing and all the new marine tackle, so you have to assume that they want to have more than just one map to make use of that. But they could maybe do like the Baltic Sea or something like that. Maybe something between like Russia and Alaska, that side. Get some of those really cool water fish. And then obviously a lot of people are anticipating them adding fly fishing at some point, which would definitely be cool. Still not entirely sure how the controls would feel doing fly fishing. I would hope if they implement it, they don't do just simple casting, since that's part of the biggest fun in actual fly fishing is the art of the cast. It's so unique. So if they could find a way to sort of emulate that, it'd be really neat. Just having to swing the rod back and forth to get your line out. That's not bad at all. Come out to over 300 silver an hour. It's a decent little chunk of coin there. So far, been pretty small stuff hitting here right now. I think it's just a little bit too cold. I'm wondering if I would have better luck sticking closer to the shoreline with as cold as it is. Might actually try that. Go right along in the shallow parts between everything here. So are you just going after mainly raw fish out there, Hiko, or are you filling some cafe orders out at the same time? Grayling. Got something on here. Another grayling. Getting your happy hour XP out there. Always a good idea. Yeah, I probably need to I'll definitely go premium when I do the Norwegian Sea second trip out there later this week, and also while I'm on that, try to use the happy hour to get my bait harvesting and ground bait crafting to the next milestones, which is going to be 75% for bait harvesting and I guess 50% on ground bait crafting. First time after you, yeah. And that's one thing I really am liking about Russian fishing compared to its biggest competitor in Fishing Planet is that, ooh, nice size perch right there. I've only been playing for a little over a month now, but other than going out to the Norwegian Sea to do it, I haven't felt like I need to do premium. Like premium's you get some nice perks out of it, but if you're just playing for casual, it's completely reasonable to just go free to play and then support the developers where you can. But like Fishing Planet, by the time I got to the second body of water, I was like, I can't play this without going premium. I was way too slow on there. So I think they do a really good job here on Russian fishing with balancing the how far you can or how quickly you can progress and how much you can do without having to even consider going premium, which is really cool. I certainly don't mind supporting the developers here and there at all, since they provide a good game. I'm also kind of interested. I haven't looked. I know they do like a juniors tournament every weekend for level 25 and under. So I might look into one of those for a stream, see if it's something that would have any chance at winning anything on. It might be fun. And I'm about to hit the island. And beached. There we go. Second beaching of the night. Oh, that's right. I think someone did say you had to do standalone only for the tournament. Yeah, if that's the case, I probably won't worry about it then, because that seems like a bit of a headache. Because I'm also a Steam player, so that's a shame. Bite rate's not doing too great out here today. Or right now, I should say. It was great earlier, but I think it's just too cold right now. It's also overcast, so let me try actually changing this out to a bit of a... Oh, got an unexpected little eyed here. Decent size one, too. Oh, of course, now as I say that, starts picking up. I swear the game's got a desire sensor built in with the mic. As soon as you start saying you're giving up, it starts throwing everything at you. A little tiny 7 trout. If you've ever played the Monster Hunter games, that's a known conspiracy on those. Everybody calls it the desire sensor. You go hours and hours trying to farm one particular monster part on there, never get it. Then eventually you get it and it just starts dropping left and right for you as soon as you no longer need it. Alright, so it seems like that was hitting, yeah, it was in the shallow area, so I think that's what's going on right now is because the temperature's so low, everything's probably sticking to the shallow water, so we're going to have a better bite rate if we stick to those. Mostly getting perch, which is unfortunate. I'm sure by now we've already got enough to fill the cafe order on them. Okay, so just to try, I want to go ahead and veer out into the extra shallow part here and see if we have better bite rate. Stick into the shallow areas of the map. Another perch. Like nothing but perch right now. Perch and grayling. So Hiko, when you did the lure making, were you able to get all the way to 100% pretty easily with that? Hey, congratulations there, 8. Level 26. Means you can go to Ladoga now. Nice. 60 to 65. That's pretty good progress though. Bait harvesting has gotten very slow for me. I'm going to have to just spend a bunch of silver to upgrade it at this point, I think. Yeah, I don't really know nothing about. I don't know anything about Ladoga. Never really hear anybody talk about it. A little lake trout. Hey, welcome, Toxic. Toxic Ice, everybody knows a good ultralight setup for around 10k reel and rod. Anybody have some suggestions for Toxic there? I haven't really messed too much with ultralights, so I don't know the answer to that. We beached ourselves again. Is there a specific kilo rating you're looking for on those ultralights, Toxic, or just whatever the best you can handle for that size or that amount of silver? I'll check in the chat here too as soon as I reel this in. See if anybody might be able to offer some suggestions on that. See if anybody in the M-Dogs chat might have some knowledge on that we can share. There we go. Now we're getting some bites. Yeah, that's what I was suspecting. I think because the temperature is so low, the shallows are where all the trout are hanging out. So we're looking for a 9 kilo reel and a 10 kilo rod. So if anybody happens to be near a shop and can take a look, there you go. That's the spirit, H. Just go out there and YOLO it. Just don't put like a size 5/0 hook on there with some live bait. You'll be fine. Oh yeah, you can go to Amber, get some good carp. Yeah, sorry, Toxic. I don't think almost to 35 spin fishing. Doesn't seem like anybody's got a good answer for you on that. I will be happy to when I get back to shore from this. I'll take a look at the shop and see if I've got some ideas for you. Said I haven't really messed much with ultralight myself, so I don't know what the different rod and reel options are for it. But I'll be more than happy to take a look and see if I can come up with an idea. Got to get that bottom up. Man, I'll tell you though, my bottom fishing has been going very slow. After 50%, it's just a crawl getting anything above that. Part of why I'm hoping to be able to get the another really good carp fishing setup after the Norwegian Sea trip so that I can have 2 good lines out and catch more than baby fish, baby carp. How's our casting looking at? Alright, so up to 57 fish so far, so shouldn't be too terrible a turn in. Fortunately, it seems to be mostly perch right now. %. You're just not you're not throwing that telly rod out there enough. I'm telling you, it's the way to go. You got to catch you a beagle shark on a telescopic. I will say though, it does seem like spin fishing has an outrageously huge silver per hour advantage over float and bottom fishing for this, for at least for these levels of the game. Well, hey, you caught it. That's what matters, right? Because it didn't snap the line. That's what I love about Oldberg. It's kind of like Russian roulette out there. You throw your line on, there's always that chance you're going to get something you're not ready for. I love how out on a winding rivulet, you get a river mussel or a zebra mussel on the line. Somehow those things just take off. The physics don't make any sense on me on how they're swimming so quick. Oh, you see some of my my past streams. This is actually, I've got an Adriatico on this line here, Toxic, and I've got a lot of fights recorded where I'm getting some carp way too big for this Adriatica reel. And actually still my biggest fish, this grass carp, 14.7 kilo, was on an Adriatica reel. Needless to say, the reel needed some repairs after that. And we've beached ourselves again. It's getting real close to unlocking wobblers though, 34.6% now. Alright, see if I can get around this rock here. But that's part of the fun of when you do get something that's too big for you to fight, really. It can be fun chasing a fish across the lake to reel it in. There's a little brown trout. Yeah, it's a fight. It'll take you around the lake, and if you're looking at purely from an XP or silver per time spent, probably not worth it, but they're fun. I think that's what I like about probably why I was more drawn towards carp fishing all this time over spin fishing. And nope, didn't quite make that turn. Ah, 0.6 kilo off. They're just teasing you with it at that point. That's when you just get a little bit more bait and stuff it into the fish's gullet and say, there we go, it's 30 kilo. My end game dream here is to buy the house here on Kuori and line the wall with trophy bleak and rough and mussels. All the big tiny fish. Alright, starting to warm up, so I think we'll head back into our normal route now. That one caught another one pretty quick there. Another perch. And a skill gain. What are we up to? We're up to 66 fish. Not too shabby. Not great for already about 40 minutes into the trolling here, but them's the breaks. That's right. Get the biggest plaques I can get for all those tiny little mussels. Everybody can have their giant sturgeon and salmon and beagle sharks, but I'll be proudly representing my minnows. Yeah, I hear you. They are. I mean, that's why I've been stuck with the Adriatica for so long. The bottom fishing setups are just so pricey because the stuff that you're mainly going after are so huge that you kind of have to get something decent. You can't just go with a low end rod and reel setup for it and expect good results. But I will say, like, if I knew sooner, I probably would have started off with the upgraded. I think I lost the fish on that one. I probably would have gone ahead and just upgraded the Adriatica early on to the 9 kilo drag friction brakes, and I think that would have been worth it back then. Yeah, I don't even know for the HSVs. I don't know if it's cheaper to get one of the higher end feeder rods or one of the early carp rods. But I guess with your right, you can't. The carp rods aren't even an option. You even have picker rods at that percentage. Possibly. Yeah, it seems like with I think eight's only about 34% in bottom. So unfortunately, carp rods are a distant dream for him. But yeah, I mean, you could get a decent Fortuna rod, even though you wouldn't be getting the most out of your reel. Still be good enough to get most of the, as long as you don't go above like a size 4 hook, you shouldn't have any worries. Size 1 hook maybe in some areas. And that's only about 375 or so. Ooh, got something on the Adriatica, giving us a fight here. Started to give a fight at least. Oh, we lost it. Well, that's a shame. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if my lure's starting to get damaged or what. This one's been losing, getting some FGAs quite a bit. Yeah, I agree. It was probably it was definitely a trophy bleak, no doubt about it. That's what we're going with. And see, honestly, I don't know that the picker rods are even worth it for most stuff. I think you'd be better off just getting the. Oh, there's a decent little rainbow trout there. I think you'd be better off just going with the Fortuna feeder rod. Once I get us righted on my route here, I'll pull mine out and take a look at which model it is. Yep. Getting a decent bite right now. Lake. Oh, that's a 7 trout. Nice. Okay, so the yeah, the Fortuna feeder FD 420. That's going to get you pretty good use out of the HSV. It's certainly not going to get the most out of it, but it's cheap, and you can throw it out there and get your skill gained quicker by going after some of those carp. Get off of these rocks here. I still don't know if I'm ever going to end up upgrading to a reel for float fishing. I feel like telescopic is good enough for me on that. Just throw it out there, pull it up, throw it back out. So Toxic, with you going after the ultralight setup, I'm curious. How does the XP bonus from ultralight stack with say the premium and happy hour bonus? Is it additive or is it multiplicative on there? I would have to assume it's probably additive, which even still is pretty good. But if it was multiplicative, my gosh, that'd be like go from 4x to 40x XP. That'd be pretty crazy. It's weird to me that there are some of those ultralight bonus carp rods, which I feel like eliminates the point of going after carp. We're looking on the keep net here, up to 75, so make another rotation around up into the cove there. Hopefully get a little closer to maxing out the fish keep net. Yeah, I'm thinking probably this weekend I'll arrange to do my second Norwegian Sea trip, and then the last trip I'll probably just wait till around level 30 when I'm a little more starved for XP. I definitely want to do some more research. Hey, Matt Boo, welcome back. Doing some trolling out here tonight instead of the usual carp fishing. Getting a bunch of trout and char and perch. Yeah, I'll do that second sea trip and probably do some research because I know the 41 meter hole has still been pretty active out there, but the last bit of my first trip out there, I started playing around with the sonar, trying to use it to find spots, and I was having pretty good luck. So I might try doing that and see if I can find some spots closer to the shoreline that don't require as much travel, since you have such limited time on the rental, and see if I can't make a better profit that way. Sun should be getting low here pretty soon. It'll be time to switch to the nighttime lures. There we go. Vendus there. Got a perch on the other line. Oops, something's running with the Adriatica line there. I do like how clear the water is here. It lets you really be able to see the fish on the line from a distance. Boy, we're just hitting the beaches left and right. Someone take away my boating license. I think I've taken it for granted here tonight. A little lake trout there. Another lake trout, it looks like. Yep. At least they're over a kilo. They'll be worth something. Oh, I bet that was rough 8. I had one. There's that spot in Oldberg on one of the bridges where if you step into it and you don't have a rod available to set down to sort of force yourself out of it, all you can do is just quit to the main menu. And I ran into that while I was fighting a pretty large carp out there one time. I was about 5 or 6 minutes into the fight and ended up in that stupid spot. And unfortunately, my other rods were all the way back on the other side of the lake, so all I could do was give up the fight. About time for some food here. So what are you playing tonight, Matmu? Oh boy, 2.2% away from unlocking wobblers. Getting real close now. Another perch. And beached again. Looks like something's tugging the Titan line over there too. Oh boy, 34.9%. Come on, one more skill gain and we got it. The Titan, I think, could probably handle Volkov, but I'm not going to risk the Adriatic out there, that's for sure. Oh, nice. MK3 arcade machine, nice. Old school right there. One day we're going to get you sucked into joining us over here in Russia, catching these fish left and right. Alright, come on, give me one more skill gain. About time to switch to the nighttime lures. Lake trout there. Almost 2 kilos, actually. Not bad one. Have a spot of tea. Up to 89, so we're going to start, and I'm going to go ahead and go along the northern route here back to the docks since we're just about out of space on a keep net. Didn't catch any especially large fish, unfortunately, so no, not expecting a huge payout from this run. There's perch. Hit a rock again. Come on now. Go. Tremendous. Hey, there's my personal record for maximum number of fish caught in one day. Oh, did I? Nice. Has he been joining the streams? Not you tell him to hop on here, but for free, I can't go wrong giving it a download and giving it a try. There's another perch. I like the random schools of fish you see swimming around here. We need some more of those in the other lakes, even though they're just a bit of a visual gimmick. Still a nice little aesthetic to the water. Alright, got enough room for 7 more fish. Go ahead and switch to the nighttime lures to try and get those last few fish on the way to the docks here. Yeah, it's definitely got a lot to offer over the other fishing games out there. Lake trout. Come on, I need just a few more fish to finish up this keep net and maybe get this last 0.1% spin fishing. Would be nice. There we go, 35%. So now I can use wobblers, which I believe 2Ts sent me a few last night. I think they were wobblers, so I'll have to take a look, but that opens up a whole new lure selection there. Start veering towards shore. Got room for 4 more fish, so we probably won't manage to completely fill the net, but not too shabby. Almost 100 fish in just under an hour. And need some little lake trout there. So, got 97. Don't think we're going to get anything this close to shore. Just wrap it up. Oh, looks like the current boat rental ticket's about up as well. Perfect timing. All right. There we go. Oh, appreciate that, 8. All right, so I'm going to take a look at this keep net here. Oop, didn't do that. It's going quite close enough to get off yet. go. Here's what we've got: 97 fish. Measured by weight. Anybody want to take a bet on how much silver this is going to be worth? It's all fairly small, so I'm going to guess maybe 112 silver. $78's what Hiko has. $104 from 8. All right, let's see. So 112 for me, 104 for 8, 78 for Hiko. The final tally is 127. All right, well, it's actually just a little more than I was expecting. But let's go see if we've got any cafe orders we can fulfill. Not a great haul there. I had the ones earlier today, I was getting easily double that, but still not terrible. I don't think I got any that. Nope. Okay, so we've got that, but I want to make sure that one's not worth that much by itself. I doubt it, but I want to check first. Let's see what we got on these perch orders. Definitely don't have that. Man, don't have that either. So we'll check that biggest grayling out, see how much it's worth. If it's less than 28 silver, I'll turn it into the cafe. Should be a decent little chunk of change added to the total. Alright, so it's getting about an extra 15 silver from selling it over at using it for the cafe order, so that's not too bad. So then counting the cafe order, I guess the total came out to about 140 silver for just slightly under an hour of trolling. Not too bad, not great. Gets me pretty close to another 1,000 silver though, so I've already made back the money I spent upgrading gear for coming out here, which is good to see. And let me head to the tackle shop to take a look at those ultralight options for toxic. So toxic, were you looking for spin or carp fishing, or what specifically on the ultralight action? Still in here, toxic? Oh, maybe off stream or AFK or something. But let's see. So it wasn't too bad a trip, and I'm going to definitely do at least one more quarry trip before heading out to the Norwegian Sea. But we did unlock 35% spin fishing, so we now have wobblers available. Do I have any of those already in my inventory? Lures. I guess I do not. I guess those were okay. Those were spoons that 2T sent. So going back into the tackle shop here. Anyone have any recommendations for wobblers I should be saving up to pick up? Not really saving up. I've got enough, but ones I should consider getting here soon. Snatchers. Okay, yeah, I have heard snatchers brought up a lot, so let me take a look at that. So 02 and 03. So blue and orange, which don't want to buy them here, is probably cheaper somewhere else, but so I'll keep those in mind. Those are a test size of 13 grams. All right. And do the stock hook sizes on those work, or is it worth swapping the hooks out for a different size? while I'm on that, let me take a look at the hooks I've got on these. You switch between the stock and the size too? Okay. So these are a size 4 right now. Yeah, I think all the lures I've got on here right now are swapped to size 4, so I may consider, at least for the one that's on the Titan setup, I may consider increasing that to a slightly larger hook. So that's an Ultra Treble F. How much are those in here? That's these. We have a size 2. That's something I may consider doing at some point, but probably need to be a little bit conservative on that so I don't end up hooking on to something that's a little too much even for the Titan. And as far as, so our other trolling option in the future is going to be Volkov. What's a good good reel and rod weight to aim for trolling in Volkov? You know, I'm always a fan of checking out a new watering hole sooner rather than later. Let's see what's the description say about Ladoga. No deep holes and shallows, so it seems. So they got, okay, that's where the sturgeon are. Well, I guess, are you prepared for, that's quite a wide range they've got listed there. Whitefish and minnow, and then sturgeon. So I don't know what the in-between would be like out in that region. I've heard amber's been pretty dead lately, so I wouldn't recommend going there and checking that out. If you go to Oldburg, you know what you already know what to expect at least. So, I'd say check out Ladoga, give it a little try, see what you can do out there, and then after you've thoroughly experienced it, go work on your bottom fishing. Or for that matter, you could always try bottom fishing in Ladoga and see if you can prove their star ratings wrong. Yeah, that's true. I guess once you get to those higher end carp flakes, really got to be using boilies and pop-ups and such, so makes sense. But at least you know at Oldburg, that spot right outside still, as far as I know, pretty active for grass carp and tench. But with that being said, I'm going to actually end the stream a little bit early tonight. My allergies are kicking in, so my throat's getting a little hoarse. So thanks for everybody for coming out. I'll plan on trying to do one more quarry trolling stream this week. Hey gamer, I'm actually getting ready to end the stream in a minute here, but yeah, I want to get another quarry trolling stream out later this week, and then probably hit up the second Norwegian Sea trip this weekend, so get a few streams out of that. But overall, tonight's stream made wasn't a great haul, but for almost 100 fish out here, everything was mostly perch. But still, it's another 140-ish silver, closer to our goals. With that said, thanks again everybody for joining me, and everybody have a great rest of your night or day, depending on where you are, and have some good fishing and tight lines. Take it easy, everyone.